Hello, welcome back to New York Talk, episode 141. I'm your host, Elyse DeLucci. How are you doing? How was Memorial Day? Did you do anything? Isn't it funny as we get older, like these holidays, Labor Day, Memorial Day, people like, it's just a day off from work, thank God. But after I got divorced and, single, boyfriend, whatever, I want to do something. I reverted back to like my early 20s, like, oh my God, it's a holiday weekend. What are we doing? So I spent the weekend on the North Fork. It was fabulous. I did a ton of eating, which is fact of the day. Harvard Health, they published a study. Americans spend 2.5 hours a day eating. And more than half of that time, they were also doing something else, multitasking and eating, which if you have kids, that's just what you do. Do you know how many meals I eat cold over the sink while I'm in the middle of doing dishes, looking over homework, feeding a dog? I mean, come on. It's 2.5 hours a day. Those were the good old days, right? Remember the good old days when you would go out and you would be at a restaurant and you would just spend like 2-3 hours, even 4, just talking, drinks, appetizers, desserts, aperitifs, just shutting down the whole I feel like I did that all the time, shut the restaurant down. I think that stage comes back, though. That stage will come back maybe when your kids are older and you have a group of friends or a significant other that likes to hang out in restaurants. Like Chris, he is, I don't know, I wouldn't say goal-oriented. He is task-oriented. When we show up somewhere, like his task is to eat, and that's what he's doing. I'll be like, you want to hang out? You want to just people watch, gaze, browse the menu some more, after dinner? And he'll be like, why? Why would we do that? We came, we sat, we ate, we paid the bill. Now let's get the hell out of here. What about La Dolce Vita? Can we not sit and enjoy? Why are we always in such a rush? I tell you, I read all this meditation and Buddhist stuff, and there's the Zen, Zen Buddhists, they have this list of things you can do every day to incrementally change your life. And, some of these things are open the window and micro clean and wake up 30 minutes earlier, if you have a list of things to do, make always a list, they say, and then do the most difficult tasks first. And one of the most important things, I think, on that list is monotask, just doing one thing at a time. The Zen Buddhists don't stand over the kitchen sink eating cold chicken nuggets, grading papers, doing dog food. They don't do that. They are singularly they train themselves to be singularly focused. This is probably one of the only cultures that says, or is it practices, religions, whatever, that says be singularly focused. Everybody else is do this, do that, all at the same time. It's a lot. I'm going to have to talk to him about adapting some Zen Buddhist stuff. I do tell him that. Do you know what it's like telling an Italian guy about Zen Buddhists and he should adapt some of these daily tasks to find his inner Zen? He's it doesn't compute in his head. He's you know what the Zen Buddhists need to do? They need to go get a job. That's it's funny, to be honest, but it gets frustrating, This is this kind of thing gets a little frustrating. So no, I spent Memorial Day weekend. We went out to the North Fork. We stayed at it was a motel. They have a restaurant, so I guess technically, is that what makes it a hotel, a restaurant? I think I heard that once. Somebody said if someone does room service and they have a hotel on the premises, a restaurant on the premises, then it's a hotel. If they don't, and it's very bare basic accommodations, then it's classified as a motel. Well, we stayed at this place, the Soundview in South Hold, New York, or maybe it's Greenport, but whatever, they're one town away. And it was a rinky-dink, dumpy, side-of-the-road motel. I had to have a sip of coffee. They still have the same motel shape, that 1960s, almost mid-century modern, low rise, no hallways. Your front door is right in the hallway, so anybody, not even, there's no hallway, so your front door is right in the parking lot, so anybody could, knock on the door, kick open the door, and murder you in your sleep. It's, that kind of place, which I prefer hallways, just to be honest. But they do have a restaurant. They do room service should you want. I didn't get. But the best part about this place, if you've never been, and you got to look it up, every single room faces the water. Okay, so the rooms are basic. It's I don't even know, maybe it's 200 square feet. Very comfortable king bed, tiny little bathroom, but the bed faces the Sound, the Long Island Sound. It is so peaceful. Just being able to open your eyes and see the water right there. And every room has a little terrace, with the little table and chairs, and the beach is right there. And it's a dry beach. Like, you could go out, walk down these stairs outside your terrace and go lay on the beach. The beach isn't a sandy beach, it's a rocky beach, but who gives a shit? I mean, the kids weren't with me, so it was just me and him. We don't care if we have rocks stuck on our feet, I have friends, that have bought out on the North Fork. They did it before the pandemic when the prices were actually affordable. So, all of that real estate shopping for me has been put on the back burner because everything's so outrageously priced. I mean, you can't even touch it with a 10-foot pole. But this hotel, Soundview, and no, they're not paying me to do this. They should, to be honest, because I feel like a lot of you are going to go there. Or at least write it down. The best thing about it is the rooms. I paid for this weekend $2.99 a night. I booked it weeks in advance, I don't know, 6-7 weeks. $2.99 a night. $2.99 a night is a steal. The annoying thing is, of course, they raised the prices for the summer. I think this is a new thing that they did. Now the prices at the hotel are I think $650, $700 for a room. For New York, that's, I hate to say it, kind of regular. For the Hamptons, it's considered cheap. But for very basic budget lodgings, it is still pricey, Definitely worth going to Soundview in Greenport or South Hold, whatever one it is. There's another hotel I stayed at once in Greenport called the Green Porter. I went there for my cousin Michelle's wedding. She got married at a vineyard, but that's where everybody from the wedding party stayed. And that hotel, also very basic, fine, but Soundview you can't beat because you face the Sound, you face the water, which reminds me, if you're ever in California, there is, in Malibu, you're like, when do I go to Malibu? I'm going to tell you when you're going to go. Make a trip. You got to go. If you haven't been to, it's so fun. I love real estate. I love all this stuff. I always used to go to California for work in my 20s. I had a lot of clients out there. I was at this publishing house, and one of the sites we had was called fashionista.com, still around. And it was a blog. We were one of the first companies, or if not the first. Actually, no, Gawker was first. We were the second company to form that had blog sites, and we were monetizing them, right? And I led their sales and marketing. Fine. I was on the founding team. It was great. Good job. Fashionista.com, for whatever reason, had a lot of surf advertisers, Roxy, Quicksilver, so random, because it didn't really fit, because Fashionista, it was an insider fashion industry blog. They would, chit chat about, the CFDAs and just, I don't know, who's coming out with what collection and what collabs Target is doing. Again, before the collabs and Target partnering with big designers was a thing. I mean, this was, what year was this? This was in 2008, maybe? Long time. So anyway, I used to go back and forth to California. And one day, this hotel calls me up, the Malibu Beach Inn. They say, oh, we used to be some motel out in Malibu, some roadside shack. We're right on the PCH. We renovated, and we're looking for some digital outlets, some fashion-y, stylish digital outlets. Now, there wasn't a lot then at all. to advertise on. Do you want to whatever? So of course, I cut a deal with them, and they said, and we want you to come stay gratis at our property. Fine. I went, met with the people there, signed the deal, and I loved this hotel. I still love this hotel. Now the prices there are crazy. For Malibu Beach Inn, if you look it up, I think, I don't know, $1,300, $1,400 a night. That's the same price as the Plaza in Manhattan, FYI. The beautiful thing about this hotel is, again, small little room, overlooks the PCH. You have a little terrace, hangs over the PCH. Every room has a fireplace, which is delicious. I love extreme juxtapositions. Fireplace and beach is like all in one, is my heaven. So I just loved it. And Malibu has that like, again, before Kardashian time, has that like rustic glamour, kind of thing going for it, where like you can drive up the beach and you can see surfers, in their VW bus, and then you can also, go stop at Nobu and have fabulous sushi with people dressed in, couture outfits. So I again, the juxtaposition I like. Malibu Beach Inn, really good. The sound view on the North Fork reminded me of that. And sound view, I don't know the deal there, but it must be like some parents or grandparents bought the property, opened this hotel, and then like the kids took it over or something. Or they hired a really great creative director or marketing director, because all the stuff like in the lobby and the restaurant that they have is all like very fashiony, cool, like boho chic. Basically what I'm telling you is they're not giving you a little piece of shit Dial yellow soap in the hotel room. And nothing against Dial yellow soap. People say it's harsh. I feel like it really does clean your body if you've been like in quite the muddy situation. Just saying. Anyway, moving on. Had a really nice time. Went to all the restaurants out there. Claudio's, just the Mexican restaurant there. I don't even remember what it was called. Luchadors. Cute, very cute. It's it used to be the less attitude-ish Hamptons, as we know, the North Fork, right? And now everybody's going there. So one of the days I was on the beach, right? And, again, had Chris, had Elmo, no kids. And this mom comes over to me because her little daughter wanted to pet the dog, so cute. And she was just one of these women that I see and know. I don't know her specifically, but she's one of these women that I see and know all over the Upper East Side and all in the Hamptons. She's like, we lived in the West Village on Horatio Street, pre-pandy. And then during the pandemic, we decided we were going to buy a place out in Amagansett. And we're living out there, and it's just perfect. And, I can't even believe it, because on Horatio Street in the West Village, we were paying $13,000 a month. And we're now paying like $11,000 a month in Amagansett. And we have such a better quality of life. And she's like, and the schools, Elyse, in Amagansett, they're free, and I don't have to pay $55,000 a year per kid in tuition, and, I don't have to pay $40,000 a year for extracurricular activities, and my kids in Amagansett, they go to this school, and right across the street from the school is this place called Amber Farm. It's real, I looked it up, and they do farm class once a week, and I just can't believe how much money we save. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, what do you do for a living? Making a conversation. What do you do? She said, oh, my husband works. He's a distressed debt hedge fund trader. I raised the kid. It's like, she doesn't even know how fucking clueless she sounds. With all due respect to her, she was so nice. She was so pretty. She was so put together. For being on the beach, standing in front of my lounge chair while I was like, snorting Cheetos and holding like a dirty sandy dog, whatever, and fat rolls just pouring out the top of my bikini. Please. She was very pretty, gorgeous, fun, totally the kind of girl you'd want to get dressed up with, have a Cosmopolitan, go sit on her fabulous deck in Amagansett, and, hear all the gossip about all of her horrible friends. But she was so clueless to real life. You know, she sized me up in about 5 seconds, I guess. I don't know. And she made a judgment about me, like I'm one of her or something. And she just went off to the races with her show. And it's like she was running her hour right there on the beach. And it's like, this is exactly why I fucking hate the Hamptons. Like, I can't deal with these people. I can't deal with these people who one up each other or talk about how much money all their stuff costs. Like $13,000 a month this lady was spending down in the West Village for a rental apartment. $13,000 a month. Like, does she even know that the median salary in the USA is like $35,000 a year? Like, it's just clueless. Totally clueless. And it when those people start to seep onto the less touched areas, right? That's when you know, oh God, it's starting. Everybody hurry up, make an offer on the house. Real estate prices are going to skyrocket. This place is over. We got to discover a new swamp somewhere. Like, that's exactly, it's tiring. I swear to God, after I was done talking to her, I was so exhausted. I was so exhausted hearing about her life and her entitlement and how hard it is, just everything, having kids. I was just like, I wanted to be like, do you need a friend? Do you want to go, like, get a fucking can of Coors Light and, like, smoke some cigarettes to get, like, that's what you need, because you're, like, on another planet right now. Like, you should come with me. I'll take you to TJ Maxx. We'll go shopping in the clearance aisle. Like, we'll have a ball. We'll get Carvel ice cream when they have their Sundays. Buy one, get one free. Let's be normal. Hello, hi. You know? No, she wasn't normal. She was nuts. But she was probably fun nuts, you know? But, I was like, oh, God. I said, Chris, people like this are staying at this hotel. The place is ruined. He's like, what do you mean the place is ruined? I said, secret's out. We gotta go travel to some other place and discover it. He's like, well, why don't you stop talking about all these places to everybody? You know, he said, every time you find a place, you're talking about it on your podcast, to this one, to that. I said, how am I supposed? These are my friends. I have to tell them about the place. He's like, the more people you tell, then they get discovered. It's anyway. So I was reading I don't know if it was New York Times ethicist or the New Yorker. The most insane advice question was written in. You're gonna die. A woman writes. She goes, my husband and I, we have kids. We love to travel. My husband, who's the breadwinner of our family, I stay home with the kids. She goes, my husband, when we go places, likes to fly first class and puts me and the kids in economy. Do you think this is fair? Or should I sit next to him in first class and the kids go sit in economy? I feel like that would be a nice treat for me. Okay. I forgot to add. He justifies his ticket, his first class ticket, just with the fact that he works and he has everything on his shoulders and he just wants some alone time. Okay. In 2023, marriage is 50 effing 50. And you're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that your son of a bitch husband sits in a lie flat seat in first class, on his way to Paris, while you're at the back of the bus, at the back of the jet, next to the bathrooms with the kids in economy, and like you're asking if this is okay. Of course it's not okay. We live in a 50-50 world. Okay, so you got married. Your husband goes and makes the money. Guess what? You've had the kids. And I'm sure you're staying up late night doing science projects or making dinners or baking birthday cakes. And even if you're not, what kind of fucked up shit is that? He should go sit somewhere in a separate class. Which, by the way, I'm surprised they didn't cancel the nomenclature, economy class, first class. Like, it's literally like, what do they have in India? Caste. In India, they have a caste society. Certain, the upper echelon, the upper caste, the lower caste. That saying, oh, we're in first class and you're in economy. What is economy? Fourth class? The shit class? It's so, I couldn't even believe it. If your husband had some effing medical issue or physical issue, like maybe he's the tallest man in the world at 9 feet tall and needs to go sit in first class, then maybe you can justify for him, yourself, your mental health, and your kids that daddy needs to sit in a separate area where the seats are bigger, which is, by the way, exactly part of the advice that the ethicist gave to this nut job. And then you could justify. But if he's just doing it just to be a dick and have a little luxury, fuck that. First of all, what I would be doing, probably not the most kosher of opinions, but I would be taking money out of that shared joint ATM and slipping it in a Nike Air Force One shoebox underneath my bed. I would be paying myself hundreds, couple times a week, stacking a nest egg. Let me tell you something. My girlfriends and I, we all have little stash accounts. We talk about this. One day, me and my friend Priscilla, she's telling me, this is years ago, she said something like, oh, I have my stash account. I got $5,000 in it. And I'm like, yeah, I got $4,000. And Stephanie was on the group text and she's like, what are you could also stash in money? Keeping it from your husband? It wasn't keeping it. Now, Priscilla and I both work, so it's a different situation, right? And everything was joint with the husband. So, we just wanted a little bit of money on our own. Is that so much? And by the way, if I told you this, if I ever got married again, I'm not putting money together. Thank you. I have lots to say about that. Not now. But if I were you, lady, whose husband sits in first class and you're at the back of the bus, I would be peeling off hundreds, crisp $100 bills and saving them for myself and building my own little nest egg just in case. Not for you to run away with, not for you to buy your own first class ticket. Every time I went on a vacation with him and he wanted to go sit his fat fucking slob ass in first class, I would go to the ATM and pay myself and feel a little bit better about things. Do I think it's something to ruin a marriage over? No. A younger version of myself would have been like, get the hell out of here. You don't need him. You don't need this. Leave his ass. But the older I get, the more I realize that you got to hang on to the good things. Because let me tell you something. If you break up with this guy, you might not meet another guy that's going to, take care of you. You're not going to work. You might meet a guy that doesn't even like vacations. When I met Chris, he hadn't gone on a vacation in 21 years. I can't even get started talking about that. It's still a sore subject. When we go away, when we come back, he goes MIA because he just has to. I traveled all over the world from when I was in high school, to be honest. My 16th birthday, my mother was like, do you want a sweet 16? I was like, no, I'd rather go to London, which I did. I'd never party. I'd rather go to London with my friend. I don't know why my mother let me go at 16, but that's another story. So here I am, world traveler. I'm not afraid to say it. I am. And I got together with somebody that never took a vacation. Anyway, so listen to this. A woman drops her ring down the sink, or was it the toilet bowl? No, down the toilet. I jotted it down because I was kept getting confused. 13 years ago, a diamond ring, she drops down the toilet bowl 13 years ago, lost it, never to be found again. Her husband, everybody tried to get they tried to get it out of the pipes. 13 years later, just last month, they found the ring. People were cleaning the sewers a few blocks away. They saw something sparkle. And they started to ask around in the neighborhood, and it was this woman, and she got her ring recovered. Basically, what I'm telling you is there's hope for all of us if we ever lost a piece of jewelry, okay? Have you guys tried the new Boars Head dessert hummus? I don't even know if I told you about this before, but I reordered it recently. Boars Head came out with this dark chocolate hummus, small little thing, and it's not usually in the refrigerator section with the other hummus, by the by. Where it is in the fridge is if Boars Head has their own case, sometimes they have their own case, it's in the Boars Head case, or it's near all the other Boars Head products. So it was annoying, right? When I would go to the store, I'd look for it, and I would be like, where the Sabra hummus is, and I wouldn't see it. And then I would go and see like the Boars Head prepackaged, honey roasted turkey and soup assad, and I would be like, oh my God, dessert hummus. I got to be honest with you. For somebody that has a real food addiction, it helps me because I take one of these, those thin pretzels, whatever, like whatever they're called, they're like pretzel chip things. I dip it in the dark chocolate hummus. I know it has cocoa powder or whatever the hell it has in it, but it's chickpeas. It's like a cross between a chocolate mousse, a chocolate cake frosting, and mush. And you want to know what? It tastes like chocolate. There is chocolate in it. It satisfies the sweet tooth. I really love it. But now I really just got to stop with any of that kind of stuff. I can't replace kind of like my insane brain version of sugar with healthy sugar, because I eat way too much on the weekend, as I do. I mean, one of the things they have at that hotel, by the way, is they put chairs out on the beach with fire pits so you can make s'mores right in front of the ocean. So, of course, there I was in 7-Eleven packing up the graham crackers, the big marshmallow. It's my favorite thing to do. I have lots of favorite things to do. Can you believe my hardcover book is still not on effing Amazon? The paperback's now for sale. But I'm not able to start any marketing until the hardcover's there. And I understand, it's better just to not. Why would I spend money on marketing a book that's not even available on the world's largest bookstore, I just hope it sorts itself out because I really worked hard on it. And by the way, if you read it, can you drop me a review on Amazon and Barnes & Noble? On Barnes & Noble, I think I have 2 reviews, and Amazon I have 6 or 7 or something, but I need to have more reviews. I need to work on that. I'm staring down at my new foot massager. I got this thing, Miko foot massager. It's a foot massager machine, product of the week. Mother's Day, I said, before Mother's Day, I said to Chris, 'cause you got to tell them sometimes, I said, you want to get me a little something for Mother's Day? Because to be honest, he should have got it on his own. He shouldn't need me to tell him you should get me something. But, guys, so I told him, he said, yeah, what do you want? So I of course. So I sent him this because I read about it in New York Magazine. It is so amazing. I love getting my feet rubbed, and it's $130 or $150 on Amazon. Look it up. Miko, Miko, foot massaging machine, deep tissue, deep kneading, compression. Now look, it's still a machine. It's not going to get all up in between your toes, It's not going to get all up in there. But it's nice because it does compress and, and let go. It really does feel good. And I plug it in and I have it on the floor right in front of the couch, while I'm eating my Boars Head dessert hummus. That's basically my nights when I'm not on stage, Anywho, I have to get going. I got to go down to Little Italy. I'm going to go. DePaulo's, I hope they're still open. They were an Italian. I don't even, they do cold cuts and stuff. They smooth it up. I want to go down there and get some decent cold cuts. I can't get a decent thin slice of honey turkey Boar's Head in my neighborhood, even if I try. Every supermarket I go to, I ask them, can you please slice it thin? It always comes back like a 1/4 of an inch, maybe a 1/6 of an inch. I need it thin, see-through, so thin that it, well, I was going to say so thin that it breaks. So thin that when you peel it off, it doesn't crumple into 1,000 pieces. Because, some people, they make it thin and they almost shred the turkey. I don't want shredded turkey, but I want it so thin that I peel back the slice of turkey. I could hold it up into the light and I could see through it. That's what I need. So I'm going to go down to Little Italy, to DePaulo's. They better not be closed. Every effing store I've been going to lately in the city, I walk by the store's closed. I went to tried to go to this Indian restaurant in Manhattan the other day on the west side. I get there and place is boarded up. But meanwhile, I go, when you look on Google, it says open, closes at 8. You know, I told you, this is the new normal now. So I'm going to go. I'm going to take Elmo. We're going to go downtown. More to come from Elyse DeLucci. I'm posting another episode in a few days, so I will talk to you soon. Quote of the day is by John Walters. The only thing I like better than talking about food is eating. And that's it for today's New York Talk with Elyse DeLucci. Hope you have a fabulous day. Love to love you, baby.